Hey everybody, wanted to go over our bundled benefit brochure for MedMutual Protect. I need to share my screen here. Trying to get this pulled up. Um, so I know we've talked with several people about our new products that released here in May with our specified disease and accident plan, and that's been a big hit. Um, Kind of wanted to dive into those a little bit further and kind of show maybe how we could um, incorporate everything with MedMutual to make it a little bit easier on yourself and your customers. Instead of having a plan with two or three different or coverage with two or three different people and carriers, maybe you can just do it with just MedMutual with the hospital indemnity and plans that we offer. So I kind of wanted to show you how we show that. So we have a brochure that we use. It's called our bundled benefit brochure. Now, again, there's a few states where things are not exactly the same. So I'm going to kind of talk about what most states are like. Obviously, make sure you're looking at the plans per that state just to make sure everything follows exactly to this. But this option has been really good for people that need an alternative plan for health insurance through the marketplace. The Affordable Care Act does not work for them. They don't get coverage from their employer, whatever the case is. And then with short-term medical plans being changed, where those are now more limited, pretty much, in my opinion, are going to be non-existent. We feel like this option is going to be probably that best alternative option that's on the marketplace. We know a lot of people are using some of our specified disease or accident already, and then maybe they're doing a different hospital indemnity plan with Allstate or Manhattan Life or whoever else has one. Well, we can kind of just incorporate that all in one here, and I'm going to walk through this bundled benefit brochure, and then I'm going to walk through each layer of that and what products of ours fit that layer. So this is a brochure that we have. It's a fillable PDF, so you can quote and put the person's name in here. Make it look all official. Same with the benefit levels. You can change those. Now I have these saved like this because if I'm using this in a situation where this is their primary coverage, I obviously want them to have the most coverage they can get. And so the 100% co-insurance is the big one on our specified disease and accident plan. 5,000 deductible, 100% co-insurance up to $1 million on both of those. Now, again, you can change that, and there's 5 plan options for those 2 plans and put whatever one you want. I personally feel like if this is the person's primary coverage, they need to have that 100% co-insurance up to $1 million. So I just have those pre-saved there. And then as we get down, and again, I'm going to go through every single policy that goes into this here in a second in a little more detail. I know I've hit, if you guys are watching this, you've probably already seen some of the stuff that we've talked about, or we've done some training on the specified disease and accident already, but I'm going to retouch on that. But all of our bundled benefits that we're talking to people about, if this is a good solution for them, we assume both these plans are going to go with each package. Now, again, they can buy one of these plans. They are individual plans, so that's obviously a situation for you and them. But we're assuming they're going to take both of those plans, and then as we go to page 2 of this brochure, it shows our basic, essential, enhanced, and premier levels. Okay, those are names we're using to kind of show them. Obviously, the farther they go to the right here, the more benefits they're getting. And I'll break that down for you guys as a broker, kind of what those entail. So with our basic package, which is what we would say the minimum the person's going to buy, is going to be these 2 plans, the specified disease and the accident, and then one of our hospital indemnity plans. We call it our affordable cost solutions plan. And generally we have a couple benefit levels there, but 99% of them that we're selling are $2,000 a day of hospital confinement. Again, they're an indemnity plan, no deductible, pays that dollar amount from day one. You're likely selling other indemnity plans, so you know what those are like. We have surgical benefits that come on those plans. We have 2 different options that we can put onto those plans that cover up to $3,000 for the surgeon's fee, because if a bill comes in and that person has a fee, the person doing the surgery, the doctor doing the surgery, is going to charge their own, quote unquote fee. So we have two options. It can go from 3,000 up to 6,000 or 6 up to 12,000. And essentially what that means is if we do the bigger plan, the 6,000, it'll pay up to $6,000 for any one surgery for that surgeon's fee, and up to 12,000 for any for a year. Obviously, bigger surgeries are going to have a bigger schedule or bigger fee. The schedule that they're going to pay on will be in the policy. So an appendix surgery versus open heart surgery, obviously there's going to be a range there. And so whatever they end up paying for that surgery, which is going to be right in their policy, they then have two kickers that they put on there. They have this anesthesiologist benefit, which pays up to 25% of whatever they paid for the surgeon's benefit. And then day of surgery benefit, which pays up to 125% whatever they paid there. So you put those two together, whatever they end up paying the surgeon's benefit on, whatever dollar amount that ends up getting paid out for that, the total amount for that surgery is 2.5 times that amount because of these two kickers. Okay. And again, if it's a surgery because of a heart attack, they had open heart surgery, stent placements, whatever, their specified disease is covering that 100% after that deductible. So anything, they're in the hospital, let's say for 4 days with the surgery because of that, that's $2,000 a day for those 4 days. That's $8,000 plus whatever it pays on the surgeon's benefit. Let's say it pays an additional $5,000-6,000. We're at $13,000 or $14,000 in benefit on something that's being covered on the specified disease plan. So that $5,000 deductible can be paid by that $14,000, and then they keep the rest to do what they want to do with it. So not only do our plans not coordinate with any other insurance, and they don't coordinate with anything in house either. So makes it a very, very good package to have it set up that way. This wellness benefit you see here, that's actually included in the specified disease policy. In most states, there are a few states where it's not, but in most states it is. And then as you go down here, you're going to start seeing outpatient benefits listed. And so on the basic package, we have the specified disease, our accident, and our affordable cost solutions plan, but then we don't add any outpatient benefits. The person doesn't need them, doesn't want them, they don't want to spend the extra money. They're healthy, they go to the doctor a couple times a year. They'll pay cash if they go, or they have a direct primary care membership, so they got all their doctor visit stuff covered there. They're just not concerned about it. So instead of charging them a premium for something they don't want, we can take it off, right? It's a great option for those people. As you look at the essential, the enhanced, and the premier, what you're going to see really what changes is the outpatient benefits. The more we go up, we add outpatient benefits. When we get to the premier, the outpatient benefits don't change much from enhanced, but we add some more surgical benefits, a little bit there on the hospital indemnity, and then more surgical. And I'll show you that in the policies that we're going to walk through. So that's kind of the premise. We take a confusing process of, someone that needs to find an alternative plan, and it gets so confusing with, well, you can do this and you can do this. This brochure kind of makes it really simplified. Okay, I like the essential package. I know I'm getting my 100% co-insurance on my major illness and specified disease and accident. And then I'm going to have this here. Makes it very simple. Again, all the benefits listed here are indemnity benefits. So there's no deductible on any of those. The average family deductible on a marketplace plan is 15 or 16,000. So, obviously anything paid on this stuff before. I actually just had a guy go get a CT scan yesterday. He went to a private imaging center, went to urgent care. They wrote the script. He went over there, CT scan, $350 is what they charged. We'd pay $750. Okay. So we're going to pay him more than what they charged. In his situation, it was go pay cash, get the receipt, we'll turn it in. So for the claim and have it self-submitted. So there's lots of good benefits, but on another major medical plan through the health insurance marketplace, he would have went to the hospital probably. They would have charged $6,000 or $7,000, and it would all been before the deductible. He would have got no benefit, right? So again, those are just education things we try to teach people that are using these alternative plans, because there is a science to that as well. At the bottom, there are a few other things listed here. I'm going to just say don't pay attention to those right now, but the total monthly premium, then you can just type what this package is going to cost, what this package is going to cost. You just type it in there. You can save this PDF and just send it to that customer. So, and then when you're talking to them on the phone, they have something to look at, which is really nice. Okay. So let's break down each policy. Again, the specified diseases where, we kind of always start. An accident. We have kind of covered this before already, but I'm going to pretend we have it. So we have our specified disease plan that we just relaunched. We have all the covered diseases listed out here on the brochure. Again, this is kind of that major illness, catastrophic plan. Any diagnostic code tied to one of these diseases could be considered a covered claim, right? So it doesn't, the one I always use is cardiovascular disease. Lots of things could affect that cardiovascular system. It could be heart attack, stent placements, whatever the case is. I think stroke is listed down here as well, which is a part of it. But gastrointestinal diseases, they have something going on with their small intestine, large intestine, got somewhere in that gastrointestinal, there could be lots of things that flare that up. So anything that's covered under one of these diseases is subject to, their policy provisions, which again, I personally recommend 5,000 deductible, 100% coinsurance up to $1 million, right? Which obviously includes that wellness benefit, which is what we showed here. Okay. Now, again, you can give them whatever they want there. The prices don't vary that much. So again, if it's their primary coverage, to me, it makes sense to have 100% coinsurance on that stuff, even though the deductible is a little bit higher. If you get cancer, have a heart attack, you're going to want the most coverage you can get, which is the 100%, right? So anything related to those diseases, emergency room, urgent care, hospital stay, inpatient, outpatient, does not matter. Anything related to those is covered based on the policy provisions of that they have, right? So that's our first level there with our bundled benefit, the specified disease. Then we just move over to that same plan, but for accidents. Ask anyone why they want health insurance. It's to protect financial loss from injury or illness. We take it a step further, major illness on the specified disease and injury. Do I need money to cover my $100 doctor visit if I get sick? Do I need insurance to do that? Not really. It's kind of like car insurance that would pay to get your oil changed. They just don't really, those don't exist because wouldn't make sense. Right. So a lot of times it's easier and more affordable to leave that stuff off. But again, we'll get into that here in a second. But our accident plan is set up as the same way as that specified disease plan as far as the 4 or the 5 policy options. Again, 5,000, 100% coinsurance up to $1 million. If we're using it as the primary coverage is what is recommended. Anything related to an accident, they break their leg, their arm, something happens where an accident, they fall off their work truck and they get, tear their abdomen and have surgery because they tore a muscle, tear their ACL, whatever it is. If it's related to an accident, they're going to have benefits based on those policy provisions. Okay. Inpatient, outpatient, again, does not matter there. It's just, it's got to be accident related. So now that we have our major illness covered, our accident covered, and then we get into the second page of this basic, essential, enhanced, and premier. This is where we start breaking down the rest of these. So right here is one of our hospital indemnity plans. Is we call it the affordable cost solution plan. That's what it looks like in your e-app. It's just a hospital indemnity plan like other carriers have. You've seen out there with the Manhattans and the Allstates of the world. Very similar. I do think ours can obviously play a better piece when you're selling it with those other two. But I think our surgical benefits seem to be better than what I've seen on the market. So on this brochure, it shows the benefit amount of 4,000 on down based on, days 1 through 5 is 4,000, 6 through 30, and so on and so forth. You may also apply for daily benefits of 2,105 or 1,500. This is what we sell the most of. That's what is displayed here on our bundled benefits brochure across the board. That's the one that obviously we're using. And then the surgical schedule is here, which when we get into, does have a few other things added in there, but when we get into the surgical schedule, you'll have the choice on the e-app of the 6 or 12,000, which is the maximum per one surgery up to the annual. And then 25% and the 125% is standard, regardless of what benefit level you choose. Maximum benefit of 12,000 or 6,000 as you selected when you apply. So again, we like to select the bigger one if we can, based on budget. If you can't, you have the flexibility there to do different. And so that would be it for the basic package: is our specified disease, our accident, and then our affordable cost solutions, 2,000 a day with whatever surgical benefit you want on there. Again, this wellness benefit that they're showing here, this is on that specified disease plan. They put it here instead of up at the top simply because it fits more in line with what's listed here on outpatient care. But on the basic package, we had no additional outpatient care. Now, when we move to the essential package, you can see there starts to be outpatient care there, and that is a rider that we can add on the Affordable Cost Solutions plan. So they have, in most states, there's 2 riders. In some states, there is only one. I think it shows it right here, not available in Utah, Idaho, and Kansas. They just have 1 rider that you can add. But in most states, there is 2 riders. So we just add them both. There's what we call the small rider and the large rider. If there's like benefits added there, things keep going for that larger rider. You would just combine the benefits. So that's why, we see a $50 doctor visit for 4 visits a year, and then another on the second rider. That's why we listed here as a $100 visit for 4 doctor visits. Okay. And then the rest of it that's added is simply the rest of the rider that goes down the sheet there. So pretty simple. You're not actually adding another policy when you're on that essential package. It's still the 3 policies, but with the rider added. Okay. Now, again, in some states, both the riders aren't available. It's just 1 rider. So it's a little bit different the way they word that. That small rider is not available. So you're only seeing benefits start right here. So you're only seeing benefits from this section down. Okay, so moving on, essential package, add that rider. So we want to move over to enhanced. As we can see, everything stays the same until we start getting to some of these little benefits here. We're going to see some increase there. So all we do is we have a outpatient fixed indemnity plan. Okay, supplemental outpatient fixed indemnity policy. We have 2 options there. So either option gets these preventative care benefits listed here. So whether you apply and write option 1 or option 2, both of them are going to come with this. And then option 1 or option 2 come with the benefits outlined here, in your column. So on that bundled benefit brochure under enhanced, we are then just adding that outpatient option 2. Okay, indemnity plan. That's where you're seeing the increase of some of these is because of these additional benefits under option 2. Okay, nothing else. We're not doing anything else. So again, we have our specified disease and accident, and then our affordable choice for basic. Same thing, plus the outpatient rider on that affordable cost solutions plan. And then when we get to the enhanced, we're adding that option 2 on our outpatient plan. And then the last option is the premier package. And the only thing changing there of significance is you see the surgical benefits go up. Okay, the daily benefit does go up a little bit. You see that right here, up $100. And then some of the ambulance stuff goes up a little bit, but nothing else really changes. And what we're doing there, we have a second hospital indemnity plan. It's called a hospital confinement. We call it an HDI, but supplemental hospital confinement policy. We select option 1, which is $100 a day. That's why you saw that little increase up to $2,100. And then surgical schedule D, which is up to another $4,000 in surgical benefits, still gets those additional kickers as well, the 25% and the 125% on top of an additional $4,000. So it just increases. We have some additional ambulance benefits as well. That's why you see those go up here. But it just increases that surgical benefits that the person can have. So obviously in the situation, if they have a surgery that's related to either one of these things, they're going to have an additional amount of money paying to cover that deductible and then some, hopefully. But things come up that, the last one I can remember is adenoid surgery on a client who had a child. Having that much surgical benefits in that situation and no deductible, they're probably coming out way better on a smaller surgery like that that's going to be $5,000 or $6,000 maybe, than having to run through a deductible on a family plan that's going to be in excess of $15,000-$16,000. So that can be helpful in those situations. So that's kind of our 4 levels of our bundled benefit coverage that we call it. Again, we're starting with our specified disease and our accident, with the basic also includes that affordable cost solutions plan. So specified disease, then we add that accident plan, affordable cost solutions on the basic. And then if we want to bump to essential, affordable cost solutions with the rider, the outpatient rider. If we're going to bump to the enhanced, we add the outpatient fixed indemnity plan option 2. And then if we're bumping to that premier package, we're adding that hospital confinement, the small $100 a day with the additional 4 units of surgery. And that's what you're seeing here. This is an easy way with 2 pages to explain those benefits, give 4 price options for your customer to pick from. And again, you can keep things in-house instead of having to go to specified disease and accident with Med Mutual, and then we're going to pop over to Manhattan Life and do something, or another carrier, or whatever it is. We can keep things all in one house. The client can have one draft, one policy number to worry about, all that kind of stuff. And you can have your book of business a little easier to track as well. So now when you go into the e-app to do this, I know a lot of you have been into the e-app to do the specified disease or the accident plan. It's the same process to do it. So you log into your e-app. And I just have all my stuff saved. I don't keep a record of this. So I don't have to enter it every time. Go to my quoting and enrollment tab at the top. Then it's going to pull up and see all these little squares are technically all those policies, or a lot of the policies we just talked about. We have a few others as well. But so I usually just start with the specified disease because it's the first one on that bundled benefit brochure, but it really doesn't matter where you start. It can all get to the same point. And then zip code. I'm going to use one that I don't think has the actual 2 riders on that affordable cost solutions plan, but it will still serve the purpose. So it'll then pull up all my options for that specified disease plan. Again, I scroll to the one I want, which is the 5,000 deductible, 100% up to $1 million. Okay. And then I always try to add in order because it just makes my brain work better. I go to my accident little tab. I hover over that. It turns it dark green. Click. Look for the one I want, 100%, 5,000 deductible up to $1 million. That's the one I want. Add selection. Affordable cost solutions. That's that hospital indemnity plan to start with the basic. Again, we always do the 2,000 a day. If you want the riders, again, if it's a state that has the small rider, it's going to say yes in some of those. This state technically does not, so it says no everywhere. So you would want the one that says yes, yes. And then you want what surgical benefit you want. So if you want the 612 or the 36. So I'm just going to pick the one that says 612. And again, envisioning that it says yes, yes here. Add that selection. Okay, so now I have my, well, I guess let me go back there. Sorry. If I don't want the rider, if I'm just doing the basic package, then I would make sure it said no here, right? So if I go to that bundled brochure and they don't want any of that outpatient stuff, then I would just make sure it says no in those 2. I take my 2,000 a day with the surgery schedule I wanted, depending on that, and I'd add that. Okay. Add that there. Perfect. So if that's all I wanted, then I can hit select and go to the, and go finish it. Let's pretend they want everything. So I type into that plan again. I want it to say yes at 2,000 a day, and I want my bigger surgery schedule. So I click that. So again, those would say yes, yes. Click that surgery schedule, and then I add that. Okay. So now what I'm showing would be with my rider would be my essential package. Okay. Now I want to add the enhanced. I want to get to that enhanced level. So that's my outpatient fixed indemnity plan. You click that. Again, it's going to show you option 1, option 2. Technically, you can sell both of these. Again, based on that brochure and the benefits we talked about, we're adding option 2 to that. So add the selection. And then if I want to go all the way up to the Premier plan, I click this other hospital confinement indemnity plan. That's our other one, which has that $100 a day benefit and that 4 units of surgery. So I match those up, select that, hit add selection, and I'm off and running. So now I have what I want. I have the Premier package. Okay. Hit select. It's going to kind of show that to me, and then I can start my application. And then that's the application is the same whether you have one policy or all policies on there, right? Again, if you don't want them all, if they just want the basic, you can take those out. So you can take that hospital confinement plan off. You can take that accident plan off. Again, if they only wanted the basic, so they didn't want any outpatient riders, you would pick the no, right? And you got your costs there. So again, as you're quoting it, you just quote each level up, make a note, put it in there, and then send them that brochure. And then whenever they select, you just make sure you're matching it up, hit select, begin application, and you're good to go. So pretty simple, pretty easy. It's really not as confusing as some people want it to be because you're just adding benefits, following this chart as you go. Obviously, you do 2 or 3 and it becomes kind of second nature, but this might be an easier way to make the sale process a little easier. Not have to do 2 different e-applications, not have to have 2 different drafts on the customers that are going to not probably match up days, 2 different claims to submit, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, that's okay. Any of the plans that MedMutual has do not coordinate benefits with anybody, any other carrier, or themselves. So that is totally fine to do it that way. But if you're looking for maybe an easier route to just get in, you need to have these specified disease and accident up there because you need to have that $1 million coverage for these people. Then maybe you start adding on our additional benefits that we can add to get this basic, essential, enhanced, and premier. So obviously this bundled benefit brochure is found within your portals. It's a little hard to explain on this screen where to find them. Easiest thing to do is send me an email and I can get them to you. And then you can use them as see fit. So if you have any questions on that stuff, I know, again, we've covered a lot of it. But as more of you are ramping up to sell more of this, if this is easier for you to do, great. But any questions, reach out, and we should be good to go.